Can we get a no-handed? Ah, there we go. Backflip to no-handed landing. Got that one down there, dialed in pretty good. What's going on, guys? We're trying another MX versus ATV Reflex video today. Today we are looking at the 2016 JGMX Fun Track, which I'm sure plenty of people have already probably covered by this point since it's not any time new. I believe this is a track from MX Simulator that's been imported. I have no idea who actually imported it to Reflex. By the sound of the description on Darkslide's website, it was not converted by the original creator of the track. But somebody somewhere took this and imported it to Reflex so we could play it in this game. I remember spending a lot of time on this in MX Simulator way back in the day because this was one of the very few tracks in MX Simulator I could actually wrap my head around and I would be able to, successfully do a couple laps of in MX Simulator. But yeah, now in Reflex this is quite a bit easier because I can just whip glitch the jumps. They all seem to work fairly well for what they are. Side note, we are running with computers turned on in this case because it's a raceable track, and now that we don't live in 2009 anymore, it's a lot less demanding to run custom tracks with a bunch of AI turned on while I'm recording stuff. Technology has come a very, very long way since this game came out. Computers have gotten much better, and this game has pretty much stayed the same. So I guess try and make this fair with the AI. I don't know how we rolled away from that. Okay, but I guess to try and make this fair as we race against the AI, I'm going to try and trick every jump I'll try and do a trick on. As I say that, as I completely fail, I was going to try and roll that out. We'll try and backflip to no-handed lander this big booter here. All the big jumps I'll try and do a trick on. We can get the rotation. Pay no attention to how the throttle was being revved while the hands were off the handlebar. We're ghost throttling our bike here. But yeah, this is one of the first tracks I actually learned how to play in MX Simulator. Now that it's in Reflex, it's like weirdly coming back to me. I remember like struggling my way through this little section with that little rut there. Always getting bucked and crashing in that. We'll try and wheelie through this if we can for style points. And we'll stop being to the corner. And we'll stop being... Nope, we're just going to slide out because Reflex is ice. Alright, we'll try and backflip to no-handed lander this bad boy. Pay no attention to how we're revving the throttle. There we go, we're going to ride that out. No hands. Put your hands in the air like you just don't care. And we'll keep moving on. But yeah, I never understood that when you do certain tricks, like if you do a rock solid, you can't rev the throttle. If I do a, whatchamacallit... I had a slight change of plans after I got partially through doing this. We stopped for a second, let the AI catch back up. Maybe it'll be more interesting if we have some AI on the screen so we can see what they do and how they handle these jumps. Let them get ahead of us a little bit there. And brake into the corner because we can't get on the brakes soon enough. We'll try and do another trick. See, if I do the rock solid, I can't touch the throttle because obviously the dude's hands aren't on the throttle. But if I do a no-hander... If I do a no-hander... If you notice that when I'm in the air, I can, we can run the throttle all we want in the air with our hands off the handlebar. It's like, I've got a feeling whenever they made this, that's based off of there's some tier list of once you go above a certain difficulty tier on the trick, you can't touch the throttle anymore, and the no-hander being the simple one, they were fine with letting you run the throttle on it. I want to try and do a kiss of death to no-hander lander on the next big booter we've got coming up here, because that's what I do on this channel. Everybody else is fast at the races. I just do tricks. Ooh, I forgot that it looks like it's a big jump, but I gotta remember that's not what it looks like on the surface. There's like one jump wow, the AI is giving me the boot there. We'll try and pick some speed up here, and we'll get lined up for the next jump. But we'll try and trick all the jumps to give the AI a fighting chance, since they all seem to kind of break down and stop working. They're not too hard to... Even me being as bad at this game as I am, I can still run away from the computers most of the time. So on custom tracks, they just fall apart. And they're stuff. We can try and lap them, make it slightly more interesting. We try and use them as lap traffic. Super Can 360. There we go. I would bet quite a few people who have played this game probably do lots of Super Cans whenever they try and do tricks because, yeah. We'll try and do the the body varial over this, if I remember the pattern right. Ah, not enough hang time. The AI are going to catch up to us. No, we're not. We'll try and... I was going to try and do the backflip glitch to get a really quick flip off of that, but the AI had other plans. And now we're caught back up. We'll watch this guy probably blow this turn out. Yep, there he goes way off the track, and we go flying past him. I was trying to roll it out to no hands. I was trying to land that no-handed coming down the hill, then roll off the next jump without putting my hands back on the handlebars. Can we get a no-handed? Ah, there we go. Backflip to no-handed landing. Got that one down there, dialed in pretty good. Let's see what's the next thing come up. We're going to be a little trick. Did not get the trick off soon enough for that jump, but if we get it sooner next time, we'll be able to do it. We'll try and do a knack. Was it like left down? Right, left down, I think. No, we hit that crooked. Wheelie to stoppy, maybe? There we go. We can let them try and catch back up to us. So we'll go for a fast lap after this one. There's the heart attack over that little triple there. We'll come through these little rollers. I guess these are called rollers. So it's been a long time since I've played this. I've been checked out dirt bikes for a while. Kind of in the near future, like next year or two-ish, we're kind of looking at getting side-by-sides with the trailer, since at this point I think I'd like to have a roll cage around myself, so if I crash I don't end up in the hospital and then lose way too much time. So if I get on a bike, I'm probably going to end up crashing and hurting myself pretty bad. But, yeah, we're kind of looking at getting a couple, like, Razor RS1 side-by-sides, and we should be able to put 2 of those in the 20-foot car hauler I have. And then from those, we can go out and have little adventures with those and have 2 separate vehicles. If somebody breaks down, the other one's there to pull it home. But, yeah, that's long-term plan. That might be interesting content in the future. I live half an hour-ish, 20-ish minutes away from a little supercross track. It's more of like a really small arena cross track than a supercross track, but I go past it every day going to work, so I've been kind of thinking about getting a dirt bike, but don't have the money for that currently. Got some other stuff I need to take care of with the house and all that first, and maybe I'll have to debate whether or not I want to get back into having a dirt bike or not, because there is a little track sort of near me I could potentially ride somewhat often, but depending on honestly, if the Reflex content picks up and if this goes back to where the channel was in its glory days with all the Reflex content, that would be I don't want to say more motivating, but I would be more encouraged to try and find a dirt bike for sale around here and get back to riding at it and try and actually learn how to ride a track this time. But that would heavily depend on how well these videos go over, so if you're interested in that, let me know, and I will take that into consideration, because if these start taking off again, maybe that'd be interesting content, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. For now, we've been making content with toy cars, because I can put a track for those. Like, I can build an RC track in my front yard. I've got the space for it, I got the tools for it, so I can put a track in there, and then I can go out and run those little toy cars around the track every day, and that gets me most of the dopamine of what dirt bikes used to without having to spend a whole lot of money going out to travel and all that stuff for the dirt bike, where I can just walk out my front door and go play with it. But yeah, that's kind of where that's been at. I've moved states a couple times since I've been since the last time I posted a Reflex video. I've moved states once or twice now. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, live in the middle of a cornfield, but my house is still on fiber optic internet. Oh, I have a house now too. Yeah, that's changed. I own a house now. We got some space in the property for doing stuff, which is where all the RC car videos have come from, since I've finally got space to play with those. And that's mostly been reliving my childhood, because now that I have space and money for it, I've been playing with those way too often. But yeah, I've moved states twice, settled out for now, middle of nowhere in the Midwest of the United States, but I'm on fiber optic internet, so we can still upload stuff as frequently as I want to, potentially live streams in the future. If anybody's remotely interested in the Reflex live stream, we could potentially make those happen quite a bit easier now that I'm on fiber, and I have actually good upload speeds. While we still eked out a double backflip, and they are just nowhere to be found behind us. They're getting left in the dust. We'll go for try and do one semi-functional lap. Yeah, who am I kidding? If you want to see functional laps, go watch Wyndham 151 or Curran MX, or who's the other? A Heckman? Is he a thing still? I'm listing off the names I remember from back in the day. I know Wyndham 151's channel's gotten pretty big. I think Curran MX has been making stuff. I feel like I've seen A Heckman do stuff before. These are way back in the day. I wonder what's going on with all these people and where everybody's at. I see just track descriptions about there being like the 2020 Reflex Nationals. It's I'm just curious what's happened to everybody from way back in the 2014, 16-ish glory days of Reflex. Is that what one would call it? It's back thanks. I'm sure everybody else. It's been a long time, and I'm sure lots of things have changed for everybody involved. I'd be curious to see how much has gone on with everybody else that was involved in that community since it's been a while. The glory days of this game seemed to be around 2014 to 2016 when it was really popular and everybody was doing everything, and it was all day every day was reflex, and now things have changed. It seems like a lot of people have moved on. Same time, I don't know how much you really can move on from it since there still hasn't really. This game came out in 2009, and there still hasn't really been a great replacement for it yet. All Out I kind of liked. I made a few videos on All Out. We could look at All Out some more potentially, and Legends is coming up. All Out I didn't mind. It was just a very different feeling game that took some time getting used to it, but I kind of liked it. It just never really... It never got anywhere near the support from the dev. The devs didn't support the community like... they didn't even support the community for Reflex. People just figured out how to do it, I think. But if they were to put out tools to try and let stuff like this happen for for Legends with their new game, I think it would probably have more holding power. Whether or not it actually is good, we'll see. Kind of got a feeling it's going to be using the same basic thing as All Out. I wish they would, if they get rid of the preload thing, I'll be really happy because I kind of like the way Reflex handled without the preload in it, since that just makes it more annoying more than anything else when you can just preload stuff to the moon. I don't mind them getting rid of All Out's whole little air mechanic thing. I didn't mind because the whole way the bike's handled in the air and Reflex never really made sense to me in my head, where the 450's a lot heavier, or the 450s feel a lot lighter than the 250 and the 125 do, which, if that makes any sense, if you played Reflex, you know what I'm talking about, where you can fling the 450s around like this, and you can't do that with the 250s too much. But the whip glitching in this is very broken, since I'm sure every time you watch somebody play MX versus ATV Reflex, they just roll the bike up and forward. Pick a side and roll it forward like that, and that's how you get extra distance out of every single jump you hit. You just roll it forward. Anyway, we're getting on to a rant now, and this video's getting long. I've got no idea how many people are left. We'll try and leave it with a double back flip to backside ass slide. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.